Hello, hello, Facebook. Again, it does the usual little buffering thing, so I'm just gonna hang 10 a little second and see, check we are live. Looks like we're live. Hello, it's Monday, 6 o'clock, Monday the 9th of August. It's Charlotte Thornton, the Career Mentor for Actors. Give me a little shout out if you're here, but it is the first time I've done this new time of 6 p.m. So that might not have just filtered down into everybody's sort of planning. But yeah, I started these in lockdown, so it made sense to do them at sort of 4 o'clock. But now that's not such a good time. Cool. So today's mindset. I can see there are people here. Do say hi. Drop a comment in. Just give me a little hello. So today's mindset mini is called The Importance of Joy. And what has that got to do with acting? Well, everything has got to do with your acting career. Everything, how you are physically, how you are mentally, how you are emotionally, everything has got to do with your acting career. So there isn't one thing that's like, well, as long as I do this, it's okay, and I can, stuff the rest of it. Hello, Stephen. Thank you. So that's what's got to do with your acting career. And I've been in a couple of sessions sometimes with people who felt a bit stuck or a bit low, and we know that that will stop you being motivated. It will stop you achieving to your highest potential, and also, it doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good. And sometimes when I talk to people and I say to them, what brings you joy? This blank expression comes over. Hi, Holly. A blank expression comes over people's face as if, wow, I hadn't even considered what gives me joy. It's like they've forgotten what gives them joy, or they've never stopped to consider what gives them joy. And I can promise you, if you can't think what gives you joy, you've got out of the practice of giving yourself joy. So I want you all to write a list. I want you to sit and think about what makes you feel joy, what makes you laugh, what makes you giddy, what makes you feel that kind of brimming with love and happiness. So it might be kind of spending time with, beloved pets. There are certain things that just, or a child, a niece or a nephew, or your own daughter or son. Hi, Claire. So yeah, write a list. What gives you joy? Because with so many things, we're just leaving them to chance. And what personal development, and I think I said this last week, but it's all about taking responsibility, being empowered to know that you can change your state. You can change your mental state, your physical state, and your emotional state. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean to say it's quick. But understanding you have that much power over yourself, and we just sort of leave it to chance that I'll be happy today. And if you start to think about what makes you joyous, what gives you joy, and so I challenge you to A, create the list, and then B, to pick one thing to do every single day. Why would you not be doing something joyful every day? Boost the immune system, attracts further joy into your life, because what you seek, you find. It's the nature of how our brain filters. It's sort of like a Google search engine. And when we're looking for the joy, we will see more of it and less of the things that are less joyful. So you will attract more joy, and you'll also attract joyful people to you and joyful experiences. So joy will attract more joy. So don't leave it to chance. It's also an act of self-love. We've talked about this before, how important it is that we take care of ourselves, and loving yourself. Hey, Yvonne, loving yourself can feel like a really hard thing to do if you've in any way, as most of us have through life, gathered any kind of self-loathing, or, we all have moments where we go, oh God, I was such an idiot. That was really embarrassing. Or so we can be lacking sometimes in the self-love area from an emotional level. And what I'm always suggesting to people is think about love as a verb, because we can always take the behavior of love towards ourselves, whether that's some act of self-care, you need an early night, you don't feel well, or you take some exercise, or you don't take some exercise. Any of those can be an act of self-love if it's considered and thought about. And so when we do acts of self-love, it creates that self-love by the nature of it being a verb, rather than thinking about it as an emotion. So to think about what brings you joy and to go and do something joyous for yourself every single day is, if we think about it, also an act of self-love. If you did something to cheer up someone else's day, did something to bring joy to someone else, I mean, also a good thing, right? But we'll start filling up our own cup before we share. It's easier to share when we have replenished ourselves. So what brings you joy? Create the list. Do it daily. Those are the three things I want you to do. It's going to, like I say, it's the antidote to stress. It's going to make you healthier. It's going to make you happier, and you deserve it. L'Oreal commercial moment. You do deserve it. But like I say, when you're filled up, it's easier also for that joy to spill out. So we end up being a nicer person to be around. But as actors, I think we're quite good on some level at prioritizing our passions because we've decided to be an actor and commit to, whatever that takes to do that. And that's a passion-based thing. So it's just looking at all those other things that bring us joy. We want to have that balance. And one of the things that stops us, that balance going off kilter, is thinking about, yeah, where's the laughter? Where's the love? Where's the joy? This is so important. This is why we're here. These are like the foundations. And with anything that we're doing, when we talk about mindset, because you might say, well, this is lovely, Charlotte. Think of all the things that bring me joy and go and do them. But what's that got to do with mindset? But what I'm trying to explain is it's all completely interlinked. Yeah, body, mind, soul, or spirit, or energy, or whatever you want to call that third piece, the emotional. So when we are not in a place of joy, how creative are we going to be? How brave are we going to be? How are we going to, if we think about being an actor, it takes courage, it takes imagination, it takes play. So much easier to do when you're in a joyful space. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. I don't want anyone to go, what brings you joy? And people go, oh, no, I don't. Down what brings you joy. Try and do one every single day. Let's get this cup full of joy and happiness and all the things that interlink with that creativity, good health, attracting in positivity, seeing more positivity, because nothing is in isolation in your career. You can't be, well, my mindset's great, my marketing's great, but I'm totally, physically de-energized or unwell or whatever, or I'm depressed, or I'm, you don't get a depressed, motivated person. We have good days and bad days. So everything is connected, all of it, absolutely everything. How many glasses of water you drink is impacting your acting career on some level. Yeah. So self-care and self-love is top of the list in terms of things we should take responsibility for. And joy's like the woo, like the fun, like the key. So yeah, write your list. What brings you joy? It's going to take some thought. If you haven't done something joyful for yourself in a while, it's going to take some thought. You might need to even ask other people. You might need to take a diary and notice, because you might not even know what it is. So you might have to start paying attention to what makes you laugh through the day, or makes you feel giddy, or makes you feel kind of, fun. Could be an outfit, could be a tune, could be, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's legal. It doesn't matter what it is. Bro, so that's it. The importance of joy. Think about it. It's part of everything that we're doing in terms of being the full self and bringing ourselves to full potential. So yeah, write your list. What brings you joy? Do one thing a day. Cool. Thank you so much for joining me at my new time slots of 6 p.m. And I hope you all have an amazing week. I will see you next Monday, same time, same place. Take care. Bye.